So much beautiful stuff has happened. So much has been stripped out of my life in the best way possible. Accountability is huge when it comes to the relationships that I keep in my life. How you think, how you reflect, and how you create, that is your superpower. Hi. It has been a little bit of a minute. It is nice to be back, and I gotta say, so much has happened. So much beautiful stuff has happened. So much has been stripped out of my life in the best way possible. And yeah, today is Friday, June 13th, 2025. And I am feeling so good. And honestly, so blessed. You know that song, girl? What is that song? Hold up. Who is the queen from Philly? Yes, it is giving Blessed by Jill Scott. Woke up blessed by Tinashe. It is giving. Honey, it's giving in all the ways and all the flavors and all the beautiful languages. It is giving. And full circle moments, I am reclaiming June 11th as my reclamation day because 2 years in a row, things were stripped out of my life and showed me a new way. On June 11th, last year, 2024, it was the day that I spoke about in my processing grief video, where I put up a screenshot of the mood board I was creating that morning when I decided, you know what, I've spent so much time giving my energy and looking for different things to busy work to do around the office to keep me occupied so that I can say that, yes, I am working, I am busy, even if it's just tasks that other people didn't want to do, things for the team. I had spent so much time doing that because I wasn't getting assigned assignments. And I was like, you know what, this day, June 11th, I was like, I'm going to take this day for myself. I'm going to be working, but I'm going to be working for me. I've done literally everything that I could. I've done work, asked for work, haven't received work. I went ahead and did education. I picked all the books and I had read them already and I was done. And I was like, I'm just gonna take today and do me. So I decided 11 a.m. that morning to create a beautiful mood board inspired by my Pinterest and what lights me up and the life that I want to create if I had no limits, if I wasn't afraid, if I wasn't concerned about money, my authentic life, my authentic desires. And I went ahead and I did that. And a few hours later, that's when I was given my layoff notice and I was allowed to take the rest of the day off. I took the rest of the day off, closed my laptop, and I went outside to go sunbathe because that's what I was craving all day, was to take care of myself. And it was the first beautiful day of summer, spring in June. It wasn't too hot, the clouds were in the sky, it was a nice breeze going, the sun was beaming down, beautiful blue skies, and I was craving all day to sunbathe, and I fulfilled my wish and I did so. And this year, what just happened was I am in the process of getting out of something that I thought was aligned at the beginning, but over time, I realized this isn't right. This isn't the dynamic, the situation that I want to be a part of. Accountability is huge when it comes to the relationships that I keep in my life, whether it be a friendship or a business partnership. No matter what, it has to be aligned, and the people that I bring into my life have to know how to take accountability, because it's something that I practice and it's something that I do. I won't say I'm perfect with it. I really am not perfect, but I do my best to show up to each situation that I am part of to grow, to get better in order to build the relationship. And if the relationship will not build anymore, it will be building up my confidence in myself, knowing okay, I've been through this situation, I know how to handle it moving forward. I hope I don't have to do it in the future, but I know how to do it in a way that is constructive, that is gracious, that comes from a place of professionalism, accountability, and overall just wipes the hands clean of, I know I've done everything in my power. Whether I get what, of course, my inner self is craving, which is I wish the person or whatever situation can take accountability for what happened. Whether I get it or not, my goal is to walk away feeling comfortable and grounded in my decisions. So I won't say much on that because I'm getting out of this situation now still, but this dynamic shifted once again on this day, June 11th, this time 2025. So I'm just gonna reclaim June 11th as my liberation day. So today is gonna be about where I've been, my first podcast appearance. Also, yesterday I finally filmed, me and my girl Kasia, we finally filmed our Wealthy Artist video. And we're thinking of calling it the Wealthy Artist Club, the Wealthy Artist Series, but it will be split into several episodes, several videos, because of how long the conversation was. It was originally meant to be a video where we talk about our backgrounds as artists, how we've grown from the traditional way of thinking of what artistry is, what an artist is, and how we've made it our own, and how we're moving forward into the future to build wealth. So I'm really excited about that. My most favorite part of that video is interviewing my friend about how Brooklyn shaped her artistry, shaped her creativity, and how she pays homage to the communities through her own eclectic world building self, through how she goes about the world. Yeah, I'm really excited for y'all to see it. I will let you know when it's coming out. And like I said, it will be a series. All right, anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. So it's been a week after my podcast debut and I'm still riding that beautiful wave of gratitude and just pure expansion and happiness. The conversation itself was beautiful before, during, and after the recording. I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity to speak my own truth and to tell my story. We talked about money, opening up new forms of income portals like side hustles that are aligned with what you do and what you want to do, creative businesses, and what it means to be truly in your authenticity, in your worth, and to be yourself unapologetically, and how much magnetism being yourself brings into your life. One of the most emotional things that I shared was how on June 18th, 2024, I got this intuitive ping to record myself processing the shock, the reality of the layoff that I had been given the notice of about a week ago from that day. And the clip ended up becoming my first YouTube video. The next day on Juneteenth, I read my email that I was officially awarded my LLC in the state of Virginia. That date holds so much meaning for me, of course with other people as well, but for me specifically as an African American with roots in Richmond, Virginia. You know, my family came up from Richmond during the Great Migration to DC, knowing that my ancestors were once enslaved in this same state, knowing the truth of my ancestors, or at least what I've been able to find, what I've been able to discover. They were then sharecroppers, that they were denied education, literacy, the ability to make money in whatever way they wanted. And now here I am, just a few generations later, I'm being given ownership of my very own business, doing whatever I want to do as a creative. To receive ownership of my business on that day, on the day that symbolizes liberation, it was no coincidence. It truly felt like there was no coincidence on that. It was as if it were a sign from my ancestors, the ones who I did know who have passed on, and the ones who I didn't get to meet. It was as if they were saying, you're gonna be okay. We see you and we love you and we're with you and you got this. So the co-host of the podcast who interviewed me, Jessica, she's also the CCO of the company as well. Jessica and I spoke for a while after the recording ended, and one of the things she told me completely floored me. I didn't expect it. It was the moment when she told me that I was an expander for her. And if you don't know the term expander basically means someone that shows you the possibility that something is actually real. That, oh, they're doing that, so I can do it too. And I was like, what? She was talking specifically about when it comes to, you know, being a creator. Still, I was like, whoa, what? I have looked up to Jessica. She is an expander for me in so many different facets. For her to tell me that I'm an expander for her is just like, it's so cool. It reinforces that there is no pedestalization. There is no hierarchy. We're on the same field. We are people that inspire each other. And I gotta say, that part right there, being two people that inspire each other, is such a beautiful thing to recognize and to hold space for and to truly see each other for who we are. It's such a beautiful thing, and I greatly appreciate Jessica for saying that. You know, share the love and keep the love going, keep the love cycling around. It's beautiful. But yeah, me, someone who has looked up to her and the TBM and expanded team for so long, it felt like stepping off the stage after a long-awaited performance. It felt like a deep exhale. If you're a performer, you know this feeling of when you're practicing for so long for a specific performance and you've put your heart and soul into it. You get on stage, you perform, you're in your flow, you're in your zone, and you finally step off the stage. And it's that moment of just basking in all the work that you've put in and receiving the validation from the audience, yourself, from whoever was around you as you were performing. And it was beautiful. During the recording, I got to share this moment that happened to me from a book signing I attended here in DC. There was an AIGA DC event and I went to it, and it was for this book signing. I was able to ask the author a question about pivoting in your career. Specifically, the question was about what advice would you give to someone just starting out in the design field, coming from an immigrant background, an immigrant home. There's nobody else in their family who has gone into this direction of the creative field because they didn't get the chance to. They're the first in their family to attempt doing anything in the creative field. They're about to start interning at a company that they're really excited about, and they're still in school. They need some support, some hope to know that they're gonna be all right, but they're still second guessing themselves. I asked what advice would they give to someone in this situation? And I asked this question because it was based not only on my personal story, but it was based on the stories of people that I've seen as interns, that I have helped as interns at my former company. I was an early career guide and also the title of an intern ambassador for the internship program at my former company. And I got the chance to speak with, work with, collaborate with, mentor, and guide amazing interns of all backgrounds. And I connected with them. And I kept them in mind for this question: what advice would you give to someone like this? To someone who is talented, but may still be doubting themselves. And the author, and I'll put his book in my description, when it comes to the advice that he would give to someone, he said, all they really care about is your thought process. That one line reminded me that how you think, how you reflect, and how you create, that is your superpower, especially in the design field, in the creative field. You don't need to have a stunning portfolio. People just need to understand who you are, your thought process, why you did something the way that you did. And how I spoke about it in the podcast, I remember speaking to the example of someone in the culinary arts field wanting to pivot into a UX design position. Okay, this person doesn't have a portfolio for a UX designer. What can they do? All they have to do is show their thought process. Is there a story behind this? And what is that? Is there a specific technique that enhances the flavors the execution, the final product of this dish? Is there a specific way that the dish should be served? That is what is important in any career switch, is understanding your thought process, how you think, how you act, how you create. You don't have to have something spectacular. And this is the same advice that I would give to anyone starting a business. You don't have to have business cards off deck. You don't have to have a brand new, amazing website or brand package. All you need literally is just your thought process, whatever you do to make your personality fire, to make your work stand out through your words and through your actions. And of course, you need to put that out there so that people can see you, so that you actually have a presence that people can see, people can feel, people can say, I want to invest into this. I want to buy this. I agree with this. And this is actually really interesting. I want to know more. And I want to tell this to someone too. Another book that I wanted to mention, but I didn't get the chance to, was a book that actually changed everything for me. I mentioned it in one of my old YouTube videos. It's Little Black Book by Otego Uwagba. And this book I was reading on a train during a trip to the UK in 2023. And literally reading this book on this train going from London to Bristol, I realized, oh my God, I was being deeply undervalued at work. From that moment on, it lit a fire under me that I deserved more. And reading this book along with the other books that I found, because funny enough, I found this book and then about like a month or two later, I found this podcast, and all of these resources, all of these tools helped me realize, okay, I can actually do this. And it lit a fire under me to keep going. Because, you know, at the end of the day, whether it be through your intuition or through moments of realizations like epiphanies, these are your calling card. These are the things that you need to keep a hold of, keep track of, journal if you do. These are moments of pure magic that are meant for you to catch and hold on to. I'll be sharing more about the episode when it goes live. I just want to pause and honor this moment of reflection. The fact that being on this podcast is something that I started manifesting back in 2023. And it took 2 years. It's been about like a year and some change. And it came through. I didn't expect it to actually come through, honestly. When I wrote it down, I thought, oh my God, I'm dreaming too big. Like, who is gonna want me to be on their podcast? Who is gonna want me to be on their podcast? And why would they even want me to be on their podcast? But I was like, no, I'm writing this down and I'm keeping it here and I'm marking it on this day that I want to be on this podcast someday for something that I do, and to help and inspire others too, because I hear these stories that other people speak to and I'm just like, I know I have a story and I know it's still developing and it deserves to be known. It deserves to be heard. I recorded my podcast episode. I took the risk to reach out and be like, hey, here's my story. If I get it, amazing. If I don't, that's all right. Because like, what really matters is that I show up for myself and that I can validate myself first and foremost before anyone else can validate me, before anyone else can throw their opinion towards me. I just wanted to share this moment and share the gratitude that I have for this journey that I'm still on. This really is just the beginning, and I'm so excited because once again, calling back to last year, that layoff sparked, of course, a grieving process that took months, but it also sparked the start of a magnetic summer, literally starting with sunbathing after getting the notice I was laid off. And by the end of the summer, I not only found a new home, I found an expansive home, a bridge home, a home that is reminiscent of the type of home I wanted when I was a kid, to have signed the papers to it on my birthday by the end of the summer. Because my birthday, I'm a Leo, you know that's the end of the summer. I had a magnetic summer, and it ended with finding a new home, with finally taking the vacation I had been putting off the entire year before because I had been putting my job first. It ended with such a sigh of relief and of gratitude. And it was such a magnetic summer. And I am so excited to see what's around this corner. By the way, if you're looking for a check-in to what happened with ROI and everything, if you've seen this video, I had the opportunity to go to ROI and I decided not to. Not that I don't want to go to ROI, because financially, I want to feel a bit more sound before I make the decision to do it. I can find ways to pull strings, but I'm not willing to pull so many strings that I don't feel secure in even going. Because when I travel and I make sure I have enough funds to protect whatever may come up in travel. And if I were to try to do that right now, because literally ROI is in a week, I can do it, but I wouldn't have that safety pocket of funds to protect me if anything happened. And I'm not willing to take that risk right now, where I'm at in my business or personally. I still need to find the right opportunities to call in money opportunities, whether it be through brand partnerships, influencer marketing, or selling any of my products, my services, which I'll put below. And I'm still building that up. I'm still looking for the right people to find me, and I'm still looking to find the right people who want to buy my products, my services, my artwork, or who want to support my work as a content creator through partnerships, through campaigns. I'm still looking for that. I want to say this right now, because I don't think I've said this yet on my channel, but I said this in my podcast after Jessica brought it up. My goal is to be paid to be me. And I am a multi-hyphenate creative, a brand strategist, a creative director. I build intentional luxe brands sustainably through sustainable workflows, through empathetic storytelling, through authenticity, whether it be me showing myself with these brands, or I'm behind the scenes helping these brands tell stories and reach the right people, or a mixture of both. That's what I want to do. Use the gifts that I have to help others, and of course to help myself in the process. I do not want to put any caps on myself, so I'm opening all these pots and seeing what comes into them. As an artist, as a content creator, as a designer, as a fractional creative director, seeing what comes in, because this is what I want to do.